StreamYard says, Mr. Abundance, that you are live. Today is the 21st of March, 2021. It's exactly 3:01 p.m. in the Eastern Caribbean Islands. It's 7:01 West Central Africa time. Good evening and welcome to Sunday session with Mr. Abundance, where you ask your questions and get answers, also update. I also see that I have Mr. N4 standing by, our French regional director covering all the French territory. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Abundance, and good
Actually,
evening, the community.
yes. Well, welcome. All
Thank you.
right. We'll be talking about several things today. There are lots of developments that are taking place in TACC. A lot of policies that were issued over the past couple of days. As you know, TACC is really going uphill. But before we get into our business, I also want to welcome our ambassador. I see him there, Paul, our national executive coordinator for Nigeria. I also see our regional director for East Africa. I also see who else is on the line. Um, yes, all right then. So let me get into our theme song, and then we will get to the business at hand. Growing up, we are on board now. It's a revolution, oh yeah. I can feel the vibe and the energy so strong. Passion solidity. So when you dream, you can be right. Fighting that you overcome the poverty. Singing fast, fighting that you overcome. Just dream and become. Dream and become. Dream and become. Dream and become. Understand what's about to go down the line. There'll be a shift in influence and power, and where breaks up fighting the class created. You dream you can be right. I die. You overcome the poverty. Singing fast. Why did I feel back on your stream and become? Dream and become. They call me son of abundance. The biggest critic, one of the biggest critic of cryptocurrency, JP Morgan, are now behind doors, as I've been saying for the past several months. And you have central banks, they're doing their thing, but they don't want us to know. So let me play a little clip here on what is happening while we are sleeping, while we are waiting for them to give us the go ahead, while we are waiting for those who have kept us in poverty, those that have created an economic environment that favors the 1%. That 1% that Oxfam International reported that 27 people have the wealth of 3.8 billion of us, and that was when things were going good. I can imagine now the organized and orchestrated pandemic that was created by them decimated the entire economy. I can imagine that 3.8 now becomes probably 5.8 billion of us. 27, and by the way, the elites have increased their wealth by over 60% since the commencement of the pandemic. Poor people have a chance now to break down that foundation. Listen what your central banks are now doing. They're not telling you, but listen.
In 1694, the Bank of England became the first public bank to regularly issue banknotes as an alternative to coins as a means of payment. 3 centuries later, it's primarily tasked with maintaining price stability, much like any other central bank across the world. But these cautious institutions are now buzzing with talk of a revolutionary concept, a form of money you cannot see: central bank digital currencies.
When you ask central banks around the world whether they are exploring CBDC, 1 year ago the answer was 80% of them were exploring, and now it's nearly 90%. Last year, 40% were experimenting, and now it's 60%. The vast majority of central banks are exploring CBDC.
The idea of digital money is not new. Many of us use debit and credit cards or payment apps for transactions. But what would make a central bank digital currency different? One of the big financial developments over the last few years has been the rise in popularity of cryptocurrencies, with one in particular, Bitcoin, standing out. Following Tesla's announcement that it bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin in February 2021, the volatile cryptocurrency's price surged to new highs, giving it a theoretical market capitalization that is even larger than the world's 2 largest payments processing companies, Visa and MasterCard. Unlike traditional money, cryptocurrencies are not issued by a central bank, but rather via a decentralized network of computers, typically using blockchain technology. Even Facebook is trying to get in on the act with the 2019 announcement that it would develop its own digital currency, known at the time as Libra and now rebadged as Diem.
And so at that point, central bankers started to realize that they were really under some threat. And the question became, if we can't beat them, do we join them?
Investors in Bitcoin believe that because there is a theoretical cap on the number of Bitcoins that can ever be mined, the cryptocurrency will become increasingly valuable at a time when central banks have been printing more money than ever before to arrest the economic fallout from the pandemic. That's why people sometimes call Bitcoin digital gold. Many central banks are worried that the widespread adoption of these independent cryptocurrencies could weaken their control over the financial system. This could cause financial instability, especially because cryptocurrencies do not have the legal or the...
That's what they want us to believe, that cryptocurrency will weaken the financial system. For whom? For the elites. But it will also strengthen the financial system for the unbanked and the poor. They will not tell you that. And that is why they don't want us to understand that we don't need them. We don't need them this time around. Listen to what JP Morgan Chase is now doing.
JP Morgan sent its private clients a primer on crypto. And this report, which was produced back in February 2021 and just obtained by CoinDesk this last Friday, has been distributed to clients of JP Morgan's private bank, which requires a minimum balance of $10 million to open an account. And this is interesting because it's not like JP Morgan sent out a private document to all of its customers, all of its clientele. They specifically sent educational documents on cryptocurrency to their high net individuals, people that belonged to their private bank with a minimum balance of $10 million.
Now, this is very instructive. TBICIANS, let us wise up. JP Morgan did not send emails to all of his clients. Listen carefully. JP Morgan chose who to send crypto information to. Is it not the same thing that we have in Antigua and Barbuda? where we have two billionaires are basically given the go-ahead to control cryptocurrency. Here you have JP Morgan Chase. 2 years ago was crypto biggest enemy. Now they realize that they cannot control the market. Look what they're doing. They pick and choose who to continue to become billionaires and millionaires. And so JP Morgan Chase is only sending emails to its client that has 10 million minimum in their accounts. What happened to that little boy in Kaduna State in Nigeria, in Enugu State, in Cross River State? They would never see any information about cryptocurrency if it was left for JP Morgan Chase. A matter of fact, 99% of you in Nigeria would not know anything about cryptocurrency, because they're now seeing they cannot fight it, but they're trying now to control it. I am saying to the TACC, let us wise up. Let us wise up. A new day is dawning. All right, so let me welcome everyone. Let's go to our business at hand, which, by the way, Bitcoin price today, it's at right now is at 57. Let me share my screen when I'm showing these things, so that persons don't think that Mr. Abundance is making up anything. This is the price of Bitcoin today. As it is, I just went online. $57,455.30 for one coin. A coin 11 years ago that was at 0.003 of a cent. If I or you had bought even $15 worth, we're talking about nearly 400 million US dollars of spendable money. Can you imagine? When you have people like Damien, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, was telling people not to get involved. Look at them now. Tesla, 1.5 billion they invested. Can you buy one Bitcoin? And what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the leads to tell you when to come in? As we are now, we are 8 days left for the conclusion of the roadmap in TACC. Which will see the end of the official 75 cents. Somebody asked, will we still be able to buy coin while the countdown to the launch? Yes. We are toying with the whole idea as to how it will happen, and you know, what are the activities that we will do. But I believe that those periods will be the most excited time in TACC. So you know, we don't do air jobs in TACC. We don't know what it is. We are not here to give away nothing. This is a sacred mission, and every coin must be earned, because you will not dump your coins as anticipated by the globe. Remember, I told the global community that when I was in the process of creating this coin, both programmers says, Mr. Abundance, it is a plausible idea, but what you have, your audience is a group of dumpers. They have no patience. They don't know how to maintain and to create wealth. And so they said, you have a challenge at hand. And I did promise them that they will see what they have never seen in TACC. This is a different train that has left the station. And I have all confidence that the TACCians have learned their lessons. Those who did not take up Bitcoin, and those who took up Bitcoin but dumped it for nothing. So we are 8 days officially to end the 75 cents, and another policy will be in place as we do the countdown to the official launch of TACC, which is on the way. All right. So we at what, 23,714, they say, but there's actually more members in TACC. All right, now let me stop share my screen and bring in our panelists. Not our panelists yet, though. Let's look at the policies here, the school policy. I did issue a week and a half ago about the schools and what needs to be done. I suggested that instead of giving all the coins to one school in one state or in one region, that the coins should be distributed countrywide, especially to your graduating class of 2021. I think that they will appreciate it very well, except for Nigeria, that a school was already identified before this policy, and we did agree to give that school a coin to their students each. So except for Nigeria, all other countries should look at the best way, because it is also a strategy to get TACC into the hands of every youth, that we can execute our policy, one coin, one TACC, one child, one youth, one TACC policy. All right. So the 2,500 coins are allotted to every country. Please begin to mobilize, begin to effect it so that we can credit these accounts before we go to the exchange. All right. We also look about our TBICIAN policy. We are saying to our sister community that most of us in the foundation came from, that TACC community is extending an olive branch for all the TBICIANs that are without a TACC account. And so your leaders know who you are, and they will verify that you are a TBICIAN on that local level. All what I need are usernames and names. That's all. Once the vetting process would have been carried out on the ground by our executive team, all I need is username, names, and countries where these TBICIANs are, these TBICIANs, sorry, are coming from. All right. What else do we have here? TACC teachers, nurses, policemen. By the way, as I said, this policy is just extended to Antigua and Barbuda, where nurses, teachers, policemen, firemen, soldiers also will be awarded with one TACC. Today, if each of them had one coin, we'll be looking at over one Bitcoin, over 57,000 US dollars. And so we are anticipating that TACC will become greater. Therefore, giving a TACC to a policeman, a nurse, a fireman, oh, by the way, if you hear the background noise, I am on generator. You know, sorry to say, this is Africa. You know, in Nigeria, I understood it very well. In Cameroon, it wasn't that bad, but Nigeria, it was really bad. So I am on generator here now. So if you hear the sound in the background, and these are some of the generational ailments that TACC needs to address. You in your country coming together forming companies to address the ills in society. That is what TACC presents today. All right. Introduction of our panelists. All right, so let's bring them up. Mr. N4 is there. I see Paul is there. Prosperous Prince are there. Madam Blessing is also there. Our ambassador is also there. I think we might have, I see Paul twice. I see Paul twice. I don't know. Studio limited to 6 people. Okay. They want us to upgrade. Let me. Can I not remove that? One moment there. Let me see.
What the one I put off on your house?
Remove. Okay. All right. Somebody is talking there. Ambassador, greet the house.
Yes. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, my brother M4, Prosperous Prince, Madam Blessing, and the entire community of TBICIANS watching us live all over the world. I wish to thank everyone. I wish to welcome everyone to today's broadcast. And I just wish to say that a lot is happening, and this is actually uphill moment in TACC, you know. Just today I was communicating with Madam Blessing, and she was telling me how they were able to go about the school adoption policy, and it's actually helping because I remember when you said parents who will hear that their child will be awarded a free coin and the potential this coin has in the future, we actually want to be interested. And I was in talk equally with Mr. Paul, and he was trying to actually let me know that seriously the policy is working and parents are beginning to like come on board and see what we're actually doing here. So thank you everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ambassador. Madam Blessing, our Deputy Director for West Africa, welcome. Greet the house. What is happening in your area and also in West Africa? Tell us.
Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Good evening to
Yes.
all the leaders in the house. It's a privilege to serve. TACC is going uphill. Actually, we had a meeting today, and a lot of things were discussed on school adoption. Not only school, we are looking at the seminaries too. I think so far we have 2 seminary schools in mind. Those ones, we are not going to give them any free TACC. Rather, we will advertise TACC for them to buy. We will tell them what TACC is all about. And if all things being equal, we are expected to visit there on Tuesday. That is a day after tomorrow. One of the seminaries in Kafanchan. Then there is another one. We are taking our letter to them in somewhere called Kawo. That is also Kaduna State. The one in Kafanchan is Ekwa Seminary School, where we have over 1,000 pastors there. We are looking forward to go there by next tomorrow if everything goes as planned. And the one in Kawo is Baptist Seminary School. We're also looking forward to give them our letter. We have actually made contact with them, and they said they want to receive our letter. So we'll be taking the letter to them tomorrow, aside the school adoption that is already in progress. Thank you very much. TACC is going up here.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Director, for West Africa. Mr. N4, greet the house.
Good evening, panelists, and good evening, the whole community of TSN around the world. Mr. Prosperous Prince, my my greetings over there in UK. I like the step you took last Friday, and I want to appreciate that here. Um, I am actually I am actually in the area of lockdown here in France, and we are on a lockdown. So, but the French community is doing very well, especially I must say it, especially our team in Togo, they are on fire, and we are really preparing something great over there. Everything is almost settled in Togo. Everything is almost ready for the launching, and also for the school adoption. So they are almost over there in Togo,
Yeah.
uh, and we also have Cameroon that is pretty good. Burundi, they are also doing very well. Still waiting for the feedback over here. So uh, that is what I have
You
for.
know, I must say that the interest in Togo, they need to see what do I need to enter Togo. Do I need a visa? You know, I have where the country that I'm now in Africa, I have permanent residency. I don't know if that allow me to go in Togo because these are all West African countries. Anyhow, I just want to thank them for the work that they're doing over there under
Indeed.
your leadership. Prosperous Prince, I have not seen that recording that you did, so you need to send it to me now. And by the way, I'm now saying to you now, you and Ambassador Gabriel, we have a live show in Antigua Wednesday at what is it now? It's 11 o'clock their time. 11 o'clock East. No. 1 o'clock Eastern Caribbean time. So that should be what 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock our time here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, because I think we're 4 hours ahead. So Wednesday, Prosperous Prince. I think it could be 6 o'clock Gabriel time, but I think it's 5 o'clock you and I time because you and I are 4 hours ahead of the Caribbean. So please send me a picture of both of you so I can have you on the flyer. All right then, Prosperous Prince, greet the house.
Oh boy, where should I start, Mr. Abundant? Oh
I
boy,
don't know.
I must say good evening to all the panelists and all the TSN members and the viewers for Friday. Now, I must apologize about the link. It wasn't the right link, but we finally get it sorted out and we was on our way. There was no turning back. It was live. Um, it was a wonderful opportunity for that break from SRTV with Daddy Chris. It was very awesome, but I have to understand that there is audience may not exposed to cryptocurrency that much. So I have to go into slow motion by introduce before we get crazy. So he has very interesting question. As you know, he would say, pretend I'm a novice. I don't know nothing about crypto, so he can explain to the viewers. So we have to interact and then share it with them the best way we could before we go into overdrive. So after working the taste board and giving them, what we could, we only had about 40 minutes to give the explanation what we are doing. So it was a great experience. So
So
now
do you have the link? Do you have the link now? You have the correct link now.
Yes. I've got
Okay, you need
the
to send
link. I've got the
you need
link.
to
Yes.
send you need to send it to me. Okay,
Yes.
no
So,
problem.
so because of that, all that now, that first experience and get the feel of, the here. So it will be every Friday from now
Okay.
on. Every Friday I'll
Wow.
be traveling to London to go
Wow.
and do what we're gonna do. And I've got some listeners and viewers in Nigeria. I must apologize to them. I get to understand there was about 20, 30 people watching me on a mobile phone. So
Mm.
yes, from Mr. Peter's side. So I really felt, happy that they're taking their time and they was unable to
Yes.
see the little screen of the mobile phone, but yet they
Yes.
could hear me. And I understand there's a chief got involved and he wants to do sponsoring as well. So um,
Excellent.
yes, so I have briefed my team, tell them what was going on. So now from the mobile phone, Friday coming, I can assure that Mr. Peter will have a brand new computer donated to his group there, so that they don't have to look on a mobile phone, but they will have a computer to take this thing to the next level by signing up more people. We also got people in the university Saturday morning. A group of them was calling me to tell them about that they want to know. So there is good grass growing down there. Yes.
Excellent. We
So
want to thank you very much.
yes.
Mr. Paul, well, greet the house. Mr. Paul, Mr. Paul, greet the house. Okay, I think he's having
I
some
think
issues with his mic.
you have to unmute. He has to
Um,
unmute himself.
yes. Turn on your mic, sir. I think you're having a problem with your communication. Your internet is bad. That's all. Probably the internet is too weak, so it's not coming through. So I will have to remove you from the panel. All right. So we just want to, yeah. So we have to remove him from the stream because the internet, his internet is too bad there. He's not even coming through. And also Joseph, Pastor, are you there, Pastor Joseph? Okay, Pastor Joseph also has a blank screen. Okay, he having some problem too, so I will remove him from the stream as well. All right, Prosperous Prince, I want to thank you for that introduction there. TACC is indeed going uphill. I think that the best thing we can do now is to, expand the base. The technicians, they're working night and day to ensure that we shorten the time that was originally given to us. By the way, we started we a matter of fact, the smart contract was already created for Ethereum blockchain, but we have subsequently aborted that smart contract. So there's one that is now preparing right now as I'm speaking to you. And so they're getting everything they're in full gear so that it minimizes the time after the official sales end. But we have some treats for the house that I know everybody would be very elated. Um, let's go to the audience. Jax, good evening, Mr. Bonus and TH and all over the world. National Executive Coordinator for the UK. We want to thank you very much. Mr. Taylor down in the Bahamas. Mr. Stephen, our Fete, our admin there in Ghana. Victoria. Greetings to Mr. Abundance and for the TH from Ghana. Thank you very much. Madam Dawn in Cayman Islands. Thank you very much. Good evening, house. Good evening to you. Mr. Blessing there. Greetings to the house, panelists, the entire TACCs, our newbies. We are so blessed to have Mr. Abundance as our leader. TACC is indeed going uphill. Thank you very much, Mr. Blessing. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. Ibrahim from Ghana. Good evening, Mr. Isaac. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and the Tiashans. TACC, we going uphill over there from Ghana. Greetings to the CEO, Kenneth Barr, and the rest of the Tiashan. Crypto is buzzing all around, a sign of things to come. Greetings, listening from Lesotho. Thank you very much, Lesotho, down south. Good evening, great Tiashans, and my special greetings to our global leader, Chief Abundance. TAC is gone up hills. We want to thank you very much, Mr. Honorable Zubuk Akoson Ihoro from South. I didn't give you a name, from South, from South Nigeria. We want to thank you very much, sir. You are doing a fantastic job over there. I see all your training, your videos. Greetings, I'm in the house. Thank you very much, Mr. Luby. John, good evening. His grace and glory, Chief Abundance and the Tiashan. It is good that many should know that many of us, okay, something break there. Johnny the Bank, my greetings to everyone. Johnny the Bank, you need to tell me what do I need to come to Togo. Hello from the evangelist Alice. Thank you very much, Madam Alice over there. Good evening, Mr. Abundance and meaningful Tiashans in the house. If we can be more meaningful by targeting at least 1 million people in our various countries, when we can all be happy. And I just want to commend you for saying that. You know, Antigua, you know, we have less than 100,000. So, but Nigeria, the UK, America, France, I understand that very well. In South Africa, where you are. Good evening to the House of Tias, and I'm watching you live from Ghana. Yes, sir. Greetings to the House of Tiashan. TAC is really going uphill. Thank you very much, Mr. Bright. Our National Executive Coordinator for Nigeria, Udafia Akpan. You're on the panel, but nobody can hear you. Good evening, Mr. Abundance. I still don't forget the day we met in Abuja. Who is that now? Somebody met Mr. Abundance in Abuja. Good evening. I'm Foster from Ghana. You're welcome. Godchild, hello, greetings, Mr. Abundance, greetings. First Lady in the UK, good evening. Thank you very much, First Lady. Good evening to all, and yes, good evening. Good evening, Chief Abundance. All the leaders in various countries should help orientate people against dumping coins. Yeah, greetings to the house from South Africa. Please, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the leaders. Join us tonight. You're welcome. Thank you very much, Mr. Admin. Good evening, Mr. A. Tini from South Africa. Thank you very much, Tini. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, a global community of TAC, Tiashans, Jason, yes, our admin over there in Nigeria. Good evening, Chief Abundance. We must realize that we need no one's permission to get into TAC because our future depends on it. Dumping should not cross our mind. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, Mr. Bernard over there in Burundi. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, all the Tiashans. Yes, Dominique from Togo. Good evening, Mr. Abundance, Tiashan. It is wonderful to see the numbers rising consistently. Thank you very much. Much greetings from Ghana. Thank you very much. Professor X Aki Jackson out of Shreveport. Very happy to be part of this prophetic phenomenon. Thank you very much, my dear brother. Lastly, Louisiana. Thank you very much. Mr. Paul, are you there? Can you join us? Can you say something, sir? Mr. Paul. All right. I think he's having real issues there with his Mr. Paul, can you hear us? Okay, he's really having some issues. I think You should remove yourselves because you're really having some issue. Let me see if I can bring up Mr. Joseph. Director, Pastor Joseph, can you hear us? Welcome. Pastor Joseph, we can see you. Can you hear us?
I think they are not making use of their mics. They need to unmute themselves.
Unmute yourself. Okay, I don't think he can. I don't think he's hearing us. So we just remove him again from the stream. Okay, as we wind this thing down, good evening, Chief Abundance, watching live from France. Thank you very much. All right. I just want to thank the House for what we're able to accomplish. You know that there was a glitch in the system, and I don't know for how long it was, where people were able to send TACC to other members. They were actually selling TACC to other members. That was what was happening. They were doing peer-to-peer transactions as if we're on the exchange. And that should have never happened. That should have been reported to myself the first time, but persons used the system and they were taking advantage of the system. You know that we're raising the 2.5 million to certify the coin. If TACC is allowed TACC to do peer-to-peer, it means that you will not need to buy your coins from the admin, and we would never raise the 2.5. We're not too far away. I think in another week or two, we should be at the 2.5. So certifying the coin, the funds is not an issue anymore. The issue is let us get those schools in, let us get those applications in. Antigua and Barbuda, you have added responsibility. And from next week, this week coming up, we will start to have the meeting for the launch. I have not yet put an agenda because there's certain things I need to clear on the ground. You know, France is in lockdown. There are many countries that are in lockdown. And so I have to be strategic in the country where TACC will launch, because we do not want a lockdown country to launch TACC. And so these are the dances that are going on behind the scene to ensure that we have a successful launch. So I just want to thank you for your patience as we navigate these waters. These are waters that no ship has been before. And so we are adjusting our sail. We are adjusting to the condition of the weather as we follow our compass to the finish line, because the condition has changed since we took off in 2019, November 4th. It's not the same condition anymore. Therefore, we have to use wisdom. This is the time and the only time that poor people will have an opportunity to create wealth. You will never get this opportunity. We will never get this opportunity again in our lifetime. Even the script says that there is a time and season for everything. There is a time and season for everything, and also a purpose to be accomplished. A lot of the times we don't know when our season has arrived. That is our problem. We are now in our season. People of color in particular, this is our season. But the problem is, do you know it is your season? Do you know it is your season? And so I just want to thank again the panelists. As we go down to the end of the official sales, more information will be given as to the date of the launch. and where the launch will be and how it will be done, what will happen between the official sale and the launch. Um, I tell you, TACC is indeed going uphill and we are spreading every day. So I want to thank you again for joining us. Please, Ambassador, give your last word as we close down this session.
Okay. Good evening once more, everyone. Yes, I was watching the CEO of MicroStrategy. They were interviewing him on why he bought Bitcoin, and the gentleman says he's not trying to be negative, but in the next 5 years, a lot of fiat currencies will lose their values enormously. So he says there's no need to keep your money in fiat. He went ahead and said cryptocurrency is the only digital asset that can function as stock, can function as a currency, can function as an investment, can function as an even
I think he
this is
froze there.
superior form of monetary system. And he says this is an opportunity for people, ordinary
Okay, Ambassador,
really
you're
well for themselves. Grab the opportunity.
Ambassador, you're freezing. You
Oh,
know, the
network.
internet is acting up there. And for your last shot.
Thank you, Mr. Abundance. I will just want to address those that are watching us around the world. This is our season. This is our time. There is no more looking back. We are focused ahead, and that bringing us into a communion, because TACC is bigger than whatever you have ever seen. TACC is not just a coin. It's not just a cryptocurrency. TACC is far more than that.
That's correct.
Come into TACC and understand what is happening in the midst of us, and you will get to realize that TACC was launched here for bringing the best out of you.
Amen.
And I will encourage each of those that are still doubting about cryptocurrency and the system that there is no other way but cryptocurrency, and that is the answer for everything. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And for those who are listening, you know, we have been represented by France, the UK, Europe, Nigeria, East Africa. Madam Blessing, your passing word.
All right. I want to say to every listeners out there to try their possible best to take the good news of TACC to as many people they love, even their enemies. Because TACC is an answer prayer to the black man. And also, TACC, I see TACC as an open ticket or an open check. So our destiny now is in our hands. It all depends on how we want it to look.
Have mercy.
So let's take the news around.
Thank you very much. I like that.
Yes, sir.
TACC is an open check. You can write the figure that you think you can handle. And that is what cryptocurrency has allowed. I always said it is a period that allows us to create as much money as you can fathom. That is what it is. Nothing less, nothing more. We are the ones who will determine what our crypto wallet will look like. And that will happen based on the level of our understanding as to what cryptocurrency is and what it can do. Prosperous Prince. And Prosperous Prince, go on, your last word. Unmute yourself.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abundant. As we move forward to greater than what we expect. I wouldn't say TAC is lucky to what it's doing. We expect it to be what it should be and greater. So a lot of people who have looked at TAC before and think, okay, this is going nowhere. Like we said, TAC is bigger than greater than us. Where this is going, we will never live to think it wouldn't get there, right? So I want the T Ashen family, those who came on the program from wherever part of the world, I have got the opportunity to use the channel to mobilize ourselves and to open doors and eyes for those not got a clue about cryptocurrency. I will be very um, grateful to simplify it to them in many ways and to share my experience with them, not to let it happen, what happened to me, to let it happen to them. So we'll be looking to join this Friday, 7 o'clock, and we will be blazing guns all the way through. So we've got no look back, looking back.
Thank you very much, Prosperous Prince. Again, I want to thank the global community for your tenacity, the insight, for serving humanity. The question all of us need, the questions all of us need to ask ourselves is number one: who am I? Who am I? And where did I come from? Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? Who am I? Where did I come from? Where am I going? And for what purpose am I here? For what purpose am I here? And so I want to thank all of us, the panelists, and our listening audience, and those of you who have contributed. This is really a moment that the world has never seen. There's no other coin that is doing what we're doing. I said there's no other coin can speak to our history. I mean, TAC is actually shaking the foundation of all cryptocurrency as we go uphill. And that is why we will not go to market in silence. Thank you very much. This is Mr. Abundant coming to you from West Africa. It's 7:54 p.m. West Africa time. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.